Welcome to an episode of the HealthForce podcast, official podcast of Ramsley Fitness. My name is Fran, and I'm the CEO of Ramsley Fitness. If you guys haven't heard of us before, what we do is we help people lose weight. It honestly doesn't matter if it's 10, 20, 70, 150 pounds. We have the same methodology, the same systems. We want to base what we do around simple habits, doing them consistently over time. I know it's not what you're used to hearing. I know you're used to hearing a bunch of crap about fat burning blitz and shred that. And all those really do for you is create these short-term behaviors that last weeks, maybe a couple months, and you're back to square one eventually. We want to reverse that whole damn thing. So be sure to follow our content on Facebook and Instagram. Just type in Ramsden Elite Fitness, our business name. Follow our content there. We're redoing the website, so once that gets up and rolling, you can go there as well. There's something that's really, really important to me, and that is making sure that we're having a proper conversation around results and what to expect. The expectations of results is something that is almost entirely misunderstood right now in the fitness industry, and it's primarily caused by fitness marketing. Okay, every company right now is trying to separate themselves by promising you the best thing ever. Okay, and they're all trying to outdo themselves with promises. And it's, again, based around results. They promise you'll lose 10 pounds in 3 days. I've seen things lately that's like, these 40-hour to 60-hour, I don't know if it's a fast, if it's some sort of detox, if it's a powder. I'm not sure what it is, but we're now at the point where it used to be 30-day results, right? 20-day results, these things that last days and weeks. And now we're at the point where we're talking about 60-hour results. It's ass backwards. It's completely ass backwards. And that is a surefire way for you to never be successful. And I'm coming with some authenticity and honesty because I've been in this industry now for, I think, 6 years going on right out of college. We just have never driven results, and I've never seen results being driven before from short-term behavior, from going to extremes, from doing these fad diets that don't work for the rest of your life, for exercise habits that don't work for the rest of your life. And so we're having a completely different conversation from the one that we need to have. And so I want to facilitate that. And we're going to do that in the podcast. So, what if I were to tell you that you can have the results that you're looking to achieve in 6 to 12 months? All right. If I said 8 months from now, snap your fingers, 8 months from now, 8 months go past, you're looking like you want to look. You've got a change in body fat percentage to the point now that you can see your muscles. You've got definition in those muscles, so it's changing the shape of your arm, your legs, your midsection, your shoulders, your back. What would you say to me? And the truth of the matter is, most of you would tell me to bug off. Most of you would say, absolutely go to hell. And I understand where that's coming from. Most people do not, we're living in an age where we're not taught to turn down instant gratification. It's always about the here and now. We make impulse decisions and instant purchases all the time online now because it's speedy and you get 2-day shipping and it's there. Voila. Buying, even a car is easy. You go there, it's been a lot. It's a lot faster to do that even. You go, you find your car, do some paperwork, boom, you're driving your car home. And we're not taught about patience. And I think it's why a lot of people are suffering in business and entrepreneurship, because we've got people that want to achieve millionaire status in some arbitrary amount of time that is very impractical. I know a lot of people that say they want to be millionaire, billionaire, gazillionaire, whatever it is, and they'll say something like by age 30 or by age 45. And I just don't think people understand how difficult that is to actually accomplish. You're crunching a time window based off of what? It's off of nothing. I want it by 30. Great. That's fantastic. You want it by 30, but that's not the way the world works. You don't just get things when you want them. And I think that's behavior that we need to learn to reject. And it carries over into fitness. What we have is people that want to lose 10, 20, 50, 100, 200, 300 pounds, whatever it is, and they want to do it in the shortest time as possible. What they're failing to recognize and realize is that speed of result that should not have a priority over a plethora of other variables. The speed in which you achieve success should not be a variable. And here's why. If speed of success is a variable in your game plan right now for fitness, I'm telling you, it's compromising the other ones. It's compromising the other variables. I think the biggest variable is sustainability. Are you able to lose the weight that you want to lose and keep it off for the long term? That to me should be the goal of every single person. Well, if that's the goal, and the goal is to keep it off for the long term, by the nature of that goal, long term becomes the speed, which is for forever. The rest of your life, for as long as you live, whether it's 10 years, 30 years, or 50 years, the priority becomes the long term. Removing speed from the equation. That is far more productive than to sit here and get obsessed over your weekly weigh-in. Okay? When you get on the scale to weigh in every week, and I can't stress this point enough, that is not a determinant of your success for that week. Okay? That is merely a timestamp. That is merely one data point on a metric that should span out, technically in a year, 52 data points. 1 of 52. Okay? Less than what? 2%. It is such a small thing, but then we put so much emotional energy into that weigh-in, and we don't care about the factors. When somebody gains 0.7 pounds in a week over their previous weigh, and you try to explain to them that 0.7, first of all, is literally nothing. Okay? That is such an inconsequential amount of weight gain, it doesn't matter. When you try to explain it to somebody, and then you try to explain all the reasons as to why that could have happened. Water weight, could become extra carbohydrate, could be a hormonal cycle if it's a female. Like, there are so many factors involved. It does not matter about 0.7 pounds. It could be muscle gain for all that. Someone could lose, a pound of fat and gain 1.7 pounds of muscle, and you get this net positive weight gain of 0.7, and people don't realize that that's a positive, that's a good thing. And no one looks at trends because most people don't stick to things long enough to have trends, to have multiple data points. What point am I trying to get across in today's podcast? What am I really trying to speak to? What I'm trying to speak to is, if we don't deal away with this instant gratification and wanting results ASAP, then we're never going to be successful as a society. I promise you. And what's going to continue to happen is the clients that we'll be working with at Ramsley Fitness will be those that have the right vision, have the right mindset, and we'll end up working with a small subset of the population, which is not my goal. I want to help and cast a wide net and get as many people into our system as I can, because it works, because it creates long-term habits. The hardest part is the selling part about, hey, this isn't a supplement that you take for 10 days and you're going to lose 12 pounds. That's not what we do. And because everybody out, most other competitors out there are saying things in line with that. They're all competing on speed. The buying and purchasing habits right now of the general population are around speed, and it's completely misplaced. And what ends up happening is, and this is the dark side of these stories that you guys don't get to see. When you're on social media and you're browsing around and you're checking out all your friends and all your family and other people that are on their Instagram telling you, look at all my results, and they're posting before and after pictures, you don't see what happens 7 months from that. You don't get to see that. I do. Because of the way that our branding and messaging is, we don't attract people to our service that want to lose 5 pounds in 2 weeks. We don't get those people. Okay, we get the people that are at nearly rock bottom, that are frustrated beyond belief. They've tried 6, 7, 8 different things in the past 3 years, and they've all worked for short term. They've achieved some sort of result, and then it goes away, and they regain and actually gain more weight back than where they originally started. And that process repeats over and over and over until the person becomes so frustrated, they're almost at a point where they give up, until they hear our message of, hey, all that other stuff's wrong. You're going about it wrong. You need to do it this way. I'm telling you, it's a little bit of hard work. Don't be shy of hard work. Commitment. Commit to your goal, and you can get it. And then that's the kind of people we attract. Rock bottom. They finally get in. It takes a while. This is the interesting part. Well, just because you hire a company to help you doesn't mean that all your bad behaviors just go away. It's a lifestyle change. It becomes a process. Bad habits are an absolute bitch to reverse. They absolutely are. No doubt about it. It doesn't matter if it's smoking, sleeping in, excessive alcohol, gambling. It don't matter what it is. Okay. Any sort of addictive or bad behavior is going to take time to replace and to do away with. And fitness is absolutely no different. You stopping for breakfast or a latte or fast food every single day, after work, before work, at lunch, whatever it is, and you've done that for months, weeks, years on end, is very hard to reverse. You're not going to come into this thing hot week one and just all of a sudden now you're the perfect human being in terms of your behavior. It's not the way it's going to work. And so I understand that that's not necessarily attractive in the year 2019 because people want the instant. We're being promised the future of technology. Everything's more instant, everything's better. Fitness is just an arena of life that at this stage in time cannot be conquered by speed. You're not going to conquer your fitness by speed. You're going to conquer it by adherence, commitment, willpower, drive, desire. Having your vision placed on the right goal from the get-go is half the battle. And again, so I want to encourage people. It's 6 to 12 months. 6 to 12 months, you can achieve what you want to accomplish. You can lose 20 pounds in 6 to 12 months. You might be able to do it in 2 months, like some people tell you. You might. I'll tell you what you're not going to do is you're not going to keep it off 9 months from losing that weight. So in an 11th month window, you've actually gained more weight and you're at a higher weight than you were when you started your whole journey. And all you've done is you've wasted 11 months, you've wasted money, and you've put yourself out there emotionally, and now you're vulnerable because it's very disappointing. I cannot stress this. This is something that's extremely real. Emotions are 100% a major factor in fitness, 100%. Whether it's somebody's goals, whether it's someone's behaviors, whether it's someone's purchasing habits, whether it's someone's commitments, emotions play a factor. How you feel about yourself, how you want to feel, how your spouse, partner, friends, family, how they all feel about you and your physical appearance is an absolute factor, as much as society may try to want to take that away, right? We've got these things that are fat shaming over here and don't judge people there and don't do that there. It's probably a productive thing. You shouldn't ever judge somebody off your looks. But it's an internal thing. It's not external. It's not necessarily, well, Uncle Jim thinks I'm fat and so I feel bad about myself. It's you feel bad about yourself. That's what it is. You feel bad because you're not looking and wanting to feel like the person that you want to be. And so we've got this messaging coming in saying, oh, accept yourself for who you are. And you know what? Look, I think that does a lot of good in some circumstances, but it also does a lot of bad. If you want to change and you want to look and feel a different way, don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Don't let people tell you. It's one of the biggest, I think, pet peeves that I think individuals are now starting to recognize and starting to actually share is when people are out there venting, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and they're saying things like, hey, look, I need to lose 15 pounds. I want to lose 15 pounds. And the first thing people try to do in the comment section is say, you're beautiful the way you are. You don't need to lose 15 pounds. Hey, you're good. Except the dad bod, and you got all these articles saying the dad bod is the new thing. I mean, there's all this justification going on. But what we don't talk about is that person that made that original post, they don't give a rat's ass about your comment. They want to lose the 15 pounds. You're not hearing them. You're not listening to what they're saying. You're just you're putting yourself and your thoughts onto them. And it ain't the way it's going to work. It ain't going to change anybody's behavior. You can't just comment somebody to death and say, oh, don't worry, you're so beautiful. People are allowed to have their own goals. They're allowed to have their own goals. So with that in mind, what I'd like you to do is contemplate what your true fitness goal is. Really think about it right now. If it's weight loss, it's not so much about the exact number that you want to lose. Most people pick a number that isn't productive anyways, but I still think it's a good starting point. Think about what you want to accomplish. Do you want to lose 20 pounds? 50? Is it more of an aesthetics look? Is it an appearance thing? Is it, I don't care how much weight I either weigh, I gain, or I lose, but I want to look like this. And you have in your mind a visual, or there's some other celebrity or some other person in the world that you want to, that you have that vision for yourself. I think that becomes the most important step is actually look at that and think about that. What that's going to be like when you accomplish that goal. How much better you're going to feel, not only about yourself from an emotional standpoint and a confidence standpoint, I mean physically. Obesity is absolutely a sickness in terms of how your body reacts to it. Obesity is the second leading cause of preventable deaths in the United States. That statement should scare the hell out of you if you're anywhere close to being overweight or obese. It really should. Like my compatriots, and my other colleagues in the fitness industry who want to scare you about things that aren't actually scary, like sugar and dairy and gluten and artificial sweetener and all these things. They try to scare you that whatever you're eating is going to kill you and give you cancer, which is mostly untrue. Obesity absolutely has the potentiality to cause and inflict not only health crises but death. It actually does. It's second leading cause of preventable death in the United States. I still can't get over the fact that we have a category of death called preventable death, and it's not only made up of like accidents. It's made up of smoking, number one, and number two is just being completely out of shape, putting all that stress onto your body and your system, and leading to things like heart disease, type 2 diabetes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We have plenty of data now to suggest that obesity is, in fact, very detrimental to your health. And so, what I want to encourage everybody to do is think about your goal, okay? Really think about it. And then the next part becomes, I need you to visualize that thing over 12 months. We've got to get out of the first way that we're going to combat this instant gratification problem that we have is acceptance of what it actually is going to take. To give you an example that is similar, but in a different industry, so you guys can really see this, is in business right now, entrepreneurship especially. We're doing some things right now with mental fitness for esports. Esports is like this brand new industry about video games and kids playing games and adults playing games and actually competing and making professional leagues and things like that. And it's absolutely legitimate. It's a big time future industry. There's no doubt that I have about that. But what I do have is that the doubts I have are the industry is so young and immature that nobody knows really how to build a business in it yet. And you're having people that are typically younger than 30, but mostly younger than 40, running these esports organizations and businesses, and they don't know the first thing about running a business. And so what they do is they all go out and raise venture capital money, raise investment money, and oh my God, here we go. Now we've got $2 million. Now we can build this monstrous thing. And what they don't realize is, building a business isn't about securing investment. Just because somebody gives you, I don't care if it's $2 million, $10 million, $40 million, that doesn't mean that you have a successful business now. But that's what we're equating success to in business. We're equating success to how much money you raise, as if that's something to be cheered about. And in one respect, I suppose it is, but in another, it really doesn't mean much because you can raise $40 million and still got a business in 2 years. So the corollary now between like business entrepreneurship and fitness is you've got business owners, entrepreneurs, CEOs that think short term. They think if they raise $40 million this year, that means they're successful. If they can make a $200,000 salary this year, that means I'm successful. It's all about making $1 million in revenue, and now I'm successful. And it's just these very, very short-term things, and nobody thinks about what happens in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. So to draw that back to fitness now, it's instead of saying, how can I lose 20 pounds as fast as possible? Which is, I already know that's what's going through your brain. I want to do as fast as possible. I want to get to my goal, because that's really what you're saying is, I just want to get to my goal. Obviously, the faster I can get there, the better. So I need to lose the weight. I need to lose it fast. I get it. That is an extremely tough cycle of thought to try to break, but let me give it a go here. If you continue to think that way, the speed, again, is going to undermine your ability to get to your goal. So the speed is not important. What's important is getting to your goal. Okay, if we can accept that part, then I've done the job of the podcast. I've convinced 1, 2, 7, 9, 33 people about how to change the way that you're going to accomplish your goal. The next part becomes building the systems, habits, or processes that are going to lead to the consistent behavior you need to do to get the result. To get that result, I'll shred the mystery right now that we have around fitness. There is no mystery. How you achieve that end result, how you get there, is simply the behaviors that you do over length of time. I promise you, that's it. What are your exercise habits like? What are your diet habits like? And how consistently do you do those things, and for how long? That is it. And so the real path to success is to get yourself a system that you can follow, that you can adhere to, that you can be accountable to, that will keep you on the course. It's not a matter of being 100% on. I try to use 80, 85, 90%. If you're doing 80% of the things you're supposed to do every single week, if you're doing 80% good choices, 20% bad choices or whatever, eventually that will map out to success. It will still get there. Okay, you don't need to be 100% to zero. Some people are. Some people got the dedication, they got the motivation, they got the passion by it. They go all in on it, and they can make, that's fine. But be kind to yourself. Changing, again, habits is a very difficult process, and so it ain't going to be sunshine and rainbows. And actually, I'm just trying to get people to understand that this becomes a journey now. It's not a matter of a month's process, but a year. And so, again, the motivation for me doing this podcast and this information here is because I think people are devastated with, again, even in our own system. That to me is how big of a problem we have in a crisis, because there's people in our system that are being told every week by personal trainers on our staff, hey, don't worry about gaining the 1 pound or the 3 pounds, or don't worry that you only lost 0.7 pounds and you didn't lose 3 pounds this week. They've got professional staff that they're paying to help them through this process, and they're being consulted essentially by these experts about this is okay. And guess what? Our clients are still upset. Like, they're still annoyed, sad, depressed, angry that they didn't achieve this cataclysmic result in a week. And there's people telling them that it's not going to happen and that it's still okay. And Matt, I can't imagine what it's like out in the world for people that are not into our stuff. They don't have this advice coming in. They don't have the right people coaching them and guiding them through this process. And they're out there on their own whim and at the mercy of the internet of all these fake experts. What happens when they have a lackluster result in a week? That scares me. That devastates me, because that's unfair to them. That is sadness and a failure, a feeling of failure that they're gonna have to experience that they shouldn't have to. They shouldn't have to. So my motivation is to try to reach those people. Again, it's not to just sell our shit and say, buy our system. Like, that ain't the point. It's about giving you guys information for free that you can just incorporate in your life now without buying anything, that I think still helps, or else I wouldn't do these podcasts. I wouldn't do these videos. I would just make ads, run them on Facebook, and try to get new clients. But the reason for creating the free content and not having people pay us money to listen to the podcast, or without doing 10,000 call to actions about buying my stuff, is because I actually think this podcast can help somebody if you pay attention, if you listen, if you actually believe in it, and you integrate it into your life. Just a simple the mindset shift of going from 30-day results to 12-month results. I promise you, just that mindset, if you commit to that and say, I need to get my goal set up for 12 months, I need to be done with this short-term crap. If you just do that, you've won from the podcast. I promise you, you've won. So we've rebranded our content for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. We are now going to be offering this content from a team perspective. We have too many great players on our staff to just have Fran Ramsden do all the content. I know I'm funny and I got these blue eyes and this, that, and the other. Oh, he's so cool. Joking, of course. But we've got other great players that can contribute content, and I think help share the story about what we do here and why we're able to have people achieve success. And not only, again, is it a sales thingy where it's like, hey, we can show our staff off. Like, it's being able to help people for free. I think that's where the value is. The value is in helping people, not creating content as ads. Those are two separate things. So the podcast is content. We try to give you guys tips for free. We hope that you implement them. We hope that you agree with them. If not, we encourage debate, conversation, discussion. But again, the way you can best do this is you've got to go to the Rams Elite Fitness Facebook and Instagram. Just type in the name Ramsden Elite Fitness on both those platforms. We'll pop up with the red and white Ram logo. Like the page and just engage with the posts. Engage with them. Comment. Talk about things. That, again, is all just free stuff that you can do to better yourself and get you more, get you closer to your fitness goals. It's free to participate, and we participate back, and there's other people in the community that participate. So be sure to do that. YouTube, again, we're going to be uploading the video version of the podcast on there, and try to upload some videos as well. And then Twitter, again, is just Ramsden EF, abbreviated Ramsden EF on Twitter. And again, we want you guys to engage with each other, engage with us, give us topics. If there's things that are bothering you, I think we can start doing like a mailbag kind of a thing, or a Q&A. I love Q&A. If you've been around our social media posts previous, I think they're very productive and actually give people questions and answers that they have. So the only way that happens, though, is if you come out, actually put in the effort, take the 3 seconds, open up your Facebook, Instagram app, search Ramsley Fitness, click the like the page or follow us, and then when we come up on your feed with some content and you got something to say, don't be scared. Hop in, leave a comment, and we can get this thing rolling. So thank you so much for this podcast. I hope you guys really got something out of it, because it's just so important to me that we start communicating these messages and we get people to actually change their behavior. It ain't enough talk about it. We got to start being about it and doing about it.